Baltimore, Maryland. It's the Civic Center. Jim Carvelis together with Kyle Rose Jr. And Kyle, there's no doubt that he wants to fall into fourth place. Both these franchises, outstanding franchises in the MISL.
I believe, Jimmy, this is the 8th or 9th shutout this year, standing room only here in Baltimore.
Alphonse Line, number 17. Baltimore, here's Danny Counts, a veteran in the league for Baltimore. He's their assist guy. He steadies them all the time, Kyle. Now it's St. Lot intercepting. Looked like he was pulled down from behind. He was. And the foul, Peter Barrel against Berlich. Baltimore, Maryland. It's the Civic Center. Jim Carvelis together with Kyle Rose Jr. And Kyle, there's no doubt that he
wants to fall into fourth place.
Both these franchises, outstanding franchises in the MISL.
I believe, Jimmy, this is the 8th or 9th shutout this year, standing room only here in Baltimore.
Alphonse Line, number 17. Baltimore, here's Danny Counts, a veteran in the league for Baltimore. He's their assist guy. He steadies them all the time, Kyle. Now it's St. Lot intercepting. Looked like he was pulled down from behind. He was. And the foul, Peter Barrel against Berlich.
Bill Maxwell, our referee on the field tonight. And Gino DiPolito, the assistant, that will stay in the referee spot.
Okay, Omar Gomez is down with Steve Jungle. There's Jungle, number 7, trying to get it to Gomez. Picked up by Baltimore. And the blast out controls the ball. On the attack, Jimmy Palahan plays it toward Danny Counts in the slot. Knocked away from him. Rolled by St. Lot. Back to the goalkeeper, Shep Messing. Shep Messing, who's won his share of titles in professional soccer. One with the Cosmos in 77-3 here with his Fine Arrows team. Ball him over the ball, number 5. That's Mike Stankovic. Now, he's got a big job today, as Kyle told you. He's going to have to mark Jungle. He and a couple of other people will have to mark Jungle. Here's Danny Counts with the ball. He's down with Berlich and Jimmy Palahan. He gets it over to Palahan. Now he clears it back to Stankovic, number 5. Now they board. Now the Counts tries to get it in the slot, but St. Lot read it all the way. Messing, who releases the ball as well as anybody in the game. Good effort down there by Gomez, but cleared away from him by the goalkeeper. He's Van Aaron in the next tonight. They're going to use Gantenhammer tomorrow afternoon, Kyle, in New York.
And as you said, Jimmy, 2 games in certainly less than 24 hours. As Messing covers the ball, but it bobbled out momentarily, and Peter Berlich of Baltimore came in kicking and happened to catch Messing in the hand. Bill Maxwell has given the foul, but the Arrows with a quick free kick have not given Messing a chance to recover from that kick to the hand.
All right, we have our first substitution as Crossley comes on for Joey Fink, number 14. Here's a shot and a good save. Good save. Sneaky shot by Juan Carlos Mejia.
Really was. Everyone expected him to pass, including Van Aaron, the goalkeeper, and Van Aaron was caught flat-footed and barely got to that shot.
Mangione, good pass on the left side, getting away. This is Zirkle now in front, and it's knocked away. By bad clearance by New York, but they get away with it. And now here's Jungle. Jungle now coming to the Baltimore line. Steve Jungle. Pass on the right, and good defensive play. Outstanding defensive play by Johnny Collins over there, Kyle. And here comes Paul Crossley. Fires the goal! What a shot by Paul Crossley, Kyle.
Paul Crossley, the elder statesman of this Baltimore Blast team. Ken Cooper says he plays like a 23-year-old, but he's in his mid-30s, but he rockets that shot past Shep Messing. So for Paul Crossley, that's going to give him his 12th goal of the year, and perhaps one never more important, as it's given this Baltimore Blast an early 1-0 lead over the 3-time MISL champions.
What a shot by Paul Crossley, and it ignited this crowd. And the Arrows now get some new people on. I see Kitson out there. Mark Liverich, the former Baltimore Blast, number 10, is out there. Here's Liverich with the ball. Liverich playing up front with Kitson. They've got Jungle out of the ball game now. Dan Karashi, number 8, an outstanding player. Played a lot of fine soccer with the Buffalo Stallions, acquired by this New York club. And now
get Val Tuccia for pushing off on Peter Barilich.
Tuccia pushing off on Barilich.
And we have an injured Baltimore player that trainer Randy G. of the Blast is out checking on. As we take a look at Val Tuccia, this year recorded MISL All-Star status. One of very few players that had a chance to be with the team this year. Well, there's a break in the action. We'll be back with more MISL action in just a moment. You're watching MISL Soccer on the USA Cable Network.
Baltimore Civic Center, 11:46 to play in the first period, and Baltimore leads the Arrows 1-0. Here's Paul Kitson, the dangerous Paul Kitson for New York. Got Liverich in front of him, Tuccia on the right, now it's picked off. And it's Baltimore coming the other way, and now Kitson intercepts the ball. Gene Strenisser. Well, you talk about an old war horse.
You'll be interested. Jimmy Al Saltman has called him the old man of the New York Arrows all year long, and here you go duplicating that. Jimmy will never live that down.
Right now, here is the intercept by Strenisser, but knocked right back into the zone again where Val Tuccia watches Shep Messing get it back to Tuccia. 11 minutes to play in the first period, and it's 1-0 Baltimore on top. Now, Ken Cooper has had some problems keeping Baltimore interested after they've gotten leads recently. He doesn't like that. He feels their concentration level has not been good. Last time they played this New York team, by the way, they had them 5-2 in New York and lost at 8-6. Jungle scored 3 goals in some 37 seconds or whatever, Kyle.
And had 4 goals in 6 minutes, so another MISL record. 2 records that night for Steve Jungle. Both records that he broke, he had previously held.
Baltimore made some substitutions now. There's Mangione in the game and Ercole. Right now, it's the former Blast, Liverich, losing the ball. Ball crossed through the goal scorer and now knocks it all the way back to Van Uren. Let's talk about Rabbit fans. They've really taken to this franchise, which came here last year from Houston, and this town has really fallen in love with the Baltimore Blast. Great sports town. Here's Crossley, and knocked away in front. Good play by Tuccia. Now to counterattack. Good pass to Mark Liverich. Liverich got away from 2 tackles. Mark's still on it. There's a hard left-footed shot that's knocked down. Liverich has a devastating left foot. Tuccia.
Has a devastating left elbow.
All right, now Tuccia now. Now to Kitson. Out to the point now, Stan Karashi to Kitson. Kitson still with it. Karashi was coming through, but Paul couldn't get it back to him. Now Tuccia. Good ball control. Karashi through the legs of the defender Crossley. Kitson battling for the ball. And Kitson tried to chip it into the corner, Kyle.
Stays in play with Baltimore coming up. Bob McAvan now.
McAvan over the midfield line. Kitson comes back to pick him up. Get over here on the right side to Nicky Mangione. The local product is Kyle Toya from Loyola College here in Baltimore. Great soccer school. And the fans are making the calls tonight, although that was a good call. Clavillo's called for the foul. Well, these fans will stay in the game. There's a deflection in front, knocked away. Ercole was in there trying to deflect it past Shep Messing.
Pat started out the season very slowly. As of late has come back with several 2-goal games. And fortunately did not give up on himself. And Kenny Cooper of Baltimore not giving up allowed him to keep getting a lot of playing time.
Let's get back with it over here, Kyle. Yeah, well, you know, you've said this before, that Kenny Cooper is very well aware that there are 2 seasons. He's getting ready for the playoffs. And past records don't mean a thing for his players. He feels, for instance, that Ercole is right now is a hot player. He thinks he's going to be a sleeper for him in the playoffs. Of course, he's trying to pump him up a little bit, too, to make sure that gets in the paper. There's Ercole going for the ball now. Knocked away momentarily, but Pat stayed on it. Out to the point to Nicky Mangione. Mangione now's got Palahan over there. Baltimore has changed players again. Cooper's really getting fresh troops in all the time. Stankovic, number 5. There's Jungle coming after him. Berelich just out of the box comes down. It's off the bench, I should say. Now it's Jungle being marked over there. Good pass. And here comes New York. 1-0 Baltimore on top. Flavio in the corner now with Stankovic. Going to whistle a foul. Called against Stankovic.
Palahan comes over to put Stankovic back on Jungle. They got in a quick mismatch as the New York Arrows forced him to switch.
Too many men for that pass to get by to Jungle. That's Baltimore on the counterattack, and a hard shot by Stankovic is knocked down by the defender Clavio. Stankovic over to Danny Counts. Counts in the slot to Berelich. The Counts just missed it. Good feed by Berelich, Kyle.
Held the ball just long enough to keep the defenders flat-footed and then played it off. He has been a tremendous key to this team. Berelich, you saw at the open with that give and go to Stankovic in their 6-second goal against Kansas City.
Jungle playing a wide for Dragon Simic. Simic, good move on Stankovic, but he recovered well to knock it away. Danny Counts with it. Coming back, Simic. Good work to get it back. Jungle. Van Aaron at the near post. You can't give up on him from any angle, right, Kyle? Most people couldn't even get a shot anywhere near the goal from that angle.
Put Van Aaron under a lot of pressure there, and Van Aaron could not react to it. It just deflected off of him. A good chance in front as Dan Counts came across, was open, but Messing covered the ball. And now out quickly again.
That was a good cross by Joey Fink, number 14. He's their top goal scorer. And here's the shot into the crowd by Mike Radzovic of the New York Arrows. All right, we'll be back with more MISL soccer after this word from your local cable system. All right, Baltimore, one of the top attendance teams in the league, Kyle. And it's a happening here in Baltimore. It's not only that this club has played good soccer for 2 years, Kyle. It's also the whole presentation of the package here is sensational. And the Baltimore people are really to be commended for the show that they put on out here. Great, great program. All right, Baltimore with the ball now, leading 1-0. 5:55 to play in the first period. MISL Friday Night Soccer. Hope you're enjoying it. Jim Carvelis and Kyle Rowe Jr. Now it's Franz St. Lot, number 17. Well, I tell you, he was trying to go to Jungle on the right side, but it went off the defender's ankle. Paul Crossley, the goal scorer, coming forward. He's got Ercole on the left side if he wants him. New York's got a lot of people back. Crossley made a great move and almost hit the far corner. St. Lot now leaving it there. Nietzsche up to St. Lot. Good pass on the left wing. See if Franz tries to get it in the middle. That's where his Jungle is. Intercepted by Nicky Mangione. Mangione in traffic made a nice move. St. Lot made a nice tackle away from Nicky. Now tackle away by Paul Crossley. Well, these clubs are really going after each other.
Even Steve Jungle coming back and a little back checking. Pretty rare occurrence for him.
Mangione was stripped of the ball on the boards over there. What about the game so far, Kyle? Are you surprised at anything?
Well, they've really tried to keep Stankovic on Steve Jungle right there, the matchup again. And we'll have a chance at halftime to talk with Kenny Cooper about how he theoretically tries to stop Steve Jungle. But it's obvious they're going to leave Stankovic on him at much of the game.
That was a good pass by Berelich to Ercole, and Ercole just didn't get his foot on it. Excellent pass. Here's Jungle at the midfield line. Steve Jungle. Berelich comes to pick him up. Now New York holds the ball. Gomez, very skillful player on. Back to Jungle. Jungle trying to beat his man, but he's stripped of the ball. Jungle thought he was fouled by Stankovic. The referee says play on with 4:08 to play.
A good no call by the referee, excuse me, Jim, as there was no foul there. And just a missed skill, very, again, rare again. Oh, what a shot by Berelich. And Messing, I believe, got a hand on it to knock it wide.
He did, Kyle. He did. That was a very good save. And Berelich really released that very quickly. He didn't stride at all. He just kind of flicked it, and it had a lot of power on it. And I think it may have surprised Jeff. But he did get a hand on it. Miscue there as Gomez tried to go back. Baltimore with it now. Berelich stripped of the ball from behind by Gomez. Think about New York. They're known for being a great offensive team, Kyle, but they're a good defensive team as well. They all work defensively. Popovich has these guys playing all the time. There's a shot, and Jungle missed an open net. You won't see that too often. Tuchel. Stole it by Berelich. Berelich, very strong, tried to split the two defenders, and he is fouled.
The real issue is going to be whether it's going to be a 2-minute penalty. And Bill Maxwell has not reached into his pocket. Berelich sandwiched by New York defenders.
But, you know, Berelich created a lot of that contact as well, Kyle, because he's the one that made the move in between the defenders.
Much like a basketball guard who sees he's got somebody coming behind him. And
Oh, a great play and a goal. Berelich on a great feed from Danny Counts. Now, we told you that Counts was a great steadying player as far as feeding people. But, Kyle, let's make another point about Kenny Cooper. You know Kenny Cooper well as we see it again, and he loves these things.
That's a set play, meaning they work on that in practice. And Danny Counts, as Jim said, top team player, continues to lead the team in assists. That's his 26th assist. And for Berelich, that's going to be goal number 23. And goal number 2 on the night for the Baltimore Blast.
So all that sweat and hard work and practice when Kenny Cooper goes over those set pieces over and over again pays off here in Baltimore, and it gives the Blast a 2-0 lead against the New York Arrows. 2-0 lead, Baltimore on top of the New York Arrows. Now here in Baltimore in the 2 previous games, Baltimore won the first one handily 6-3, but the second game was won in sudden death by New York, 7-6. All right, here's Stan Karachi, really skillful player. And Joni trying to mark him on the board. He goes back to Strenicer and back to Karachi, who takes 4,000 zone. Now Stan backs it to Steve Jungle. Jungle has the man. Back to Jungle. Nice return, and Van Aaron picked it off. And now we have a breakaway. Breakaway Crossley missed. The follow missed.
I thought he got tripped by the goalkeeper Messing, but I could have been wrong.
You know, he actually took that first shot, not intending it to go in, but to bank it to himself off the board, and he just missed the header, but a great attempt by Paul Crossley. And now a foul against Baltimore.
Let's take a look at that again on replay, as the quick release by Van Aaron allowed Crossley to get open up, and I was wrong. He was not tripped. He was going, as Jim said, for the header. The diving header of Crossley, the second shot, misses.
Jungle just got knocked down there. No call by Maxwell. 2-0 Baltimore on top, and we have 1:41 to play in the first period. And Kenny Cooper, who feels that his Baltimore club can beat New York tonight and beat them tomorrow, the Nassau Coliseum is on his way. 2-0 early in the game, though. Keep in mind that Baltimore led 5-2 in New York not too long ago and lost at 8-6.
And on the season, Baltimore has outscored its opponents always in the first half, and on the season has scored less goals in the second half. New York, on the other hand, the only quarter in which they have not led their opponents in scoring has been the first. So another classic New York Arrows slow start, and this game is far from being over.
Simmons is in there now for New York. He wears number 20. They have 14 in there. That's Fernando Clavillo. Strenicer, number 13, is in. Gomez, number 9, is in. Jungle, number 7. Jungle with the ball. Stankovic is shadow. Omar Gomez. He lost the ball. Danny Counts with it. And Baltimore on the counter attack. Joey Fink is on for Baltimore, their leading goal scorer with 47. Now it's Danny Counts. Knocked off the ball nicely by Clavillo. And New York having a tough time coming out of their own zone. We're under a minute now, 52 seconds in the first period. And the blast of Baltimore on top, 2-0. Goals by Berelich and Paul Crossley. Beautiful goals, both of them, Kyle. And actually, Baltimore's a bit unlucky. They could have had a couple more. Jungle missed a great opportunity as well for New York. I cleared. And now with 28 seconds, Omar Gomez with the ball, running into Berelich, and he is some kind of strong, Mr. Berelich. On the left side, here's Strenison. Cross field. Great anticipation by Stankovic as he stole it from Jungle. Tried to get that little flick on over there to Joey Fink. He'd have been in on goal all alone, Kyle.
Diving header now in defense by Berelich.
Into the crowd, inadvertently off the foot of Dragon Simic of New York. There'll be a kick in for Baltimore with only 2 seconds. 2 seconds. And that's the end of the first period here at the Baltimore Civic Center. And the score, the Baltimore Blast 2 and the New York Arrows nothing. You're watching Friday night MISL Soccer.
Baltimore would like to remind you that next Saturday on a special edition of USA's MISL Indoor Soccer, see the battle between the two top clubs in the West, the St. Louis Steamers and the Wichita Wings and their Orange Army. Last year, the Steamers rolled over the Wings in the playoffs, and of course, Wichita hasn't forgotten. Be sure to see the Steamers and the Wings live from the Checker Dome at 8:30 p.m. Eastern next Saturday on the USA Cable Network.
Well, tomorrow, USA continues television's most extensive coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs from the Civic Center in Pittsburgh. See the rugged Pittsburgh Penguins battle the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion New York Islanders in Game 3 of their best-of-5 series. Don't miss the Islanders and Penguins live at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on the USA Cable Network. All right, the Baltimore Civic Center. Jim Carvelis and Kyle Rowe Jr. 2-0 Baltimore on top. Crossley with a great goal. A blast into the right-hand corner past Shep Messing to make it 1-0. And then a beautiful give and go. Beautiful set play on a free kick outside the box with Berelich tipping it to Counts, who got it right back to Mr. Berelich, who beat Messing easily, and it's 2-0, and Baltimore has deserved the lead.
And, of course, you're keeping up with the stats. The shots in the first quarter, New York 6, the Blast 7, and saves. Messing for New York with 2, and then Aaron for Baltimore with 3. A lot of strategy similar to basketball, Jim.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That second goal, much like a low post and then a backdoor pass, but certainly left many of the New York Arrow players standing without anything to do and left really the goalkeeper Messing unprotected totally.
Shep really had no chance at all. Well executed play. Now we start the second period. You're just tuning in. It's Baltimore in the orange and red and gold uniforms leading the New York Arrows all in white 2-0. This is Paul Kitson. Back to Liverich, and now this is Frank St. Lot to Kitson, who's really taken down. Tough tackle there by Johnny Collins, and Kitson is shaken up. Kitson is down, and now here comes the trainer, Kyle. That was a tough foul by Collins.
It was. I don't think Collins meant to really hurt him, but Kitson was going to do the fake inside and turn the back way, putting a lot of torque on the leg. Let's take a look at it, and you'll take a look and see how it happened. Here comes the pass back. Kitson has now moved in the top of the key. Here comes the pass, and you see he got it on the back of the leg, and there's another angle. There's the kick as he was trying to turn, and I don't know whether it's just a shot to the bruise or it's a twist on the knee. Well, either way, some ethyl chloride is being applied by trainer Bobby Baldwin of the Arrows.
According to the replay, it looks like he's got his foot up on his thigh, and yet they're treating his ankle or his shin. In any event, Kitson seems to be a bit uncomfortable. Paul Kitson played for Louis Dabble last year in Chicago and really came into prominence in the league for being the greatest player to score short-handed goals. There's Paul Popovich and Steve Jungle. As we take a look at Paul Kitson, an outstanding athlete. He's a great addition to this New York club.
Yes, it goes without saying he has tremendous speed, and really last year developed a tremendous reputation as a short-handed specialist.
All right, this shot in front is deflected into the crowd. And this will be a New York kick-in. New York down 2-0. Liverich is on for New York with Kitson. They played together out here along. We have Franz St. Lot in there. We have Renato Chila in the game. The pass in front. Here's Liverich trying to turn. Couldn't really maneuver that very well. Kept alive in the zone, though, by St. Lot, who's done a lot of work out here early in the game. Franz St. Lot, number 17. Baltimore very aggressive defensively, Kyle.
And right now, the ball, the only place it can't go, a foul being called, I believe, on Crossley. Yes.
Paul Crossley with a foul. Just starting the second period. As the MISL season winds down and we're getting ready for the playoffs. And these games very important, this one especially tonight for Baltimore, because they want to improve their playoff position. As Kyle told you, home field advantage so important in a best-of-3 series. All right, Nicky Mangione, number 19. Good pass for Crossley, and the shot just missed. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass at the near post for Ercole.
I thought it was a pass, and Ercole just a little bit behind, or perhaps the pass going a little bit too fast.
All right, Renato Chila, the veteran. Tried to back it off the glass and in front, and instead he knocked it over the top.
This Baltimore team has two lines. You know, in ice hockey, lines being given nicknames all the time. The board line, they call for Baltimore, Pat Ercole, Nicky Mangione, and Paul Crossley, and is now being replaced by the feet line. Joey Fink, Peter Baralich, and I guess Pollahan now, who's moved up front. And I think the way those names came about, Jim, that first line likes to use the boards to make passes, as we just saw that last group. And this line likes to play the feet, a tactic similar to what is used in outdoor all the time, where, of course, there are no boards.
All right, 2-0 ball game. Baltimore on top, and now a whistle and a foul. Whistle and a foul.
As it looks like Danny Counts has been tripped, but Renato Chila's foot is caught underneath the rug. And a little housekeeping done by Bill Maxwell. So the trip called on Renato Chila. And for that trip, it'll be a direct free kick for Baltimore.
Jeff arguing the call. Now he sees a two-man wall set up. Let's see what Baltimore decides to do here. They're good at this. And the shot taken by Baralich. Chila plays it wide on the left side to Mike Rajovac. Rajovac over the midfield line. This is Mark Liverich in the left wing, being marked very, very closely. Back to Rajovac. In the Baltimore zone now. Rajovac, a little backfield for Liverich. He turns. And good play by Pollahan. Pollahan came off the weak side to help out and block the shot.
Very much like a collapsing basketball. Man-to-man,
forward,
you know,
that's
that kind of thing.
Liverich made a good turn, and a foul, I bet, was going to knock it in the net. Baralich, defended by Chila. The fans thought there should have been a foul. Karashi, I don't know if that was a shot or a pass. If it was a pass, it was too hard for Kitson. Karashi wears number 8. Karachi, he played for the national team of Yugoslavia, as did Mr. Jungle. Karachi, there he is, off the boards in front, going for Jungle, knocked away. Collins knocking it away. And now it's New York with more possession now, Kyle, in the second period.
You wonder how Don Popovich can continue to bring in all these great players. Karachi, as you said, Jim, earlier, the star of Buffalo 2 seasons ago. And he keeps bringing in national team players, and tremendous credit to his recruiting skills, or perhaps John Luciani's money, or a combination of both.
Karachi had some disciplinary problems in Buffalo, but he hasn't given Popovich any problems.
Now Jungle for New York State up, so it's 4 against 4.
Danny Counts off the boards, and his pass came out long and off the mark. Nikitovic is on for New York now. He wears number 12. This is Jungle, number 7. Jungle taking it away from Fink. They call Fink for the foul, and New York in play right away. Michia, Juan Carlos Michia. Nikitovic at the Baltimore line. Plays in the corner for Jungle, waiting for someone to cut through. The pass was deflected. Baralich with it. Baltimore outstanding defensively. Here comes Baralich. 2 against 3. New York back defensively. Val Sutcher picked up barely. Backfield, and it was knocked away. Joey Fink with the ball. Joey in front. Deflected away. Val Sutcher with it. Time remaining, 10:57, second period. 2-0 Baltimore over the New York Arrows. Jungle one-on-one with Stankovic. Shot and a save. What a shot. And Van Aaron did well. Here's a 3-on-1. Oh, Urkel tried to get it back to Stankovic, but a bad pass by Pat. Great opportunity, Kyle, for Baltimore.
And now we have Jungle on Palahan. As Jungle goes down, no foul call. Stankovic has been caught up on that 3-on-1 fast break. Could not get back on Jungle.
That was a good no call as well, Carl. He really didn't foul. Now, Jungle went down really by himself. Jimmy Palahan, number 12. Paul Crossley here, number 16. The Baltimore Blast against the Arrows. Palahan knocked away. Saving play by Michia. Kept in by Crossley, and now a good release. And Gomez went down. And a 2-minute penalty. 2-minute penalty on Palahan. Now, he did foul him, but I'll tell you what, Omar did some acting job.
Yes, the native of Quilmes club in Argentina. The top man advantage goal scorer for the New York Arrow team. Omar Gomez has spent much of his early career here in the U.S. with the Dallas Tornado. And we now have the fans of Baltimore giving their opinion about that call.
This is one time you hope for bad audio. All right,
so our first penalty of the game to Baltimore. Jimmy Palahan for tripping. Take a quick look at it again, Jimmy. As Gomez gets Pauly to turn, and I thought it was just a hand, and you're right, there's the triple roll, degree of difficulty 1.9, but he did it so well that he got a...
By power play now, Gomez in front. Good play by Van Aaron. Good play. Good hand-eye coordination by the Baltimore goalkeeper, Keith Van Aaron. Now here comes messing up. They don't want to waste any time with the power play. Shot into the crowd. That'll be a kick in for Baltimore now, playing a man down. The power play belongs to the New York Arrows, the first penalty of the game.
New York, the second best man advantage team in the major indoor soccer league, scoring at a clip around 40%. Baltimore this year developing a reputation as being a physical team, closing in on St. Louis as the most penalized team in the league. And they rank as one of the highest penalty killing units, one of the best penalty killing units. Of course, they've had a lot of experience this year.
All right, New York, Simic, number 20. On the right to Gomez. Gomez to Simic. On the left, Nikitovic through the slot. Came to Gomez. And now the shot just went wide. Simic tried to bring it down. He did. Now, here is Nikitovic. Gets the squirts it free in front, but Mangione clears into the bench. Mangione cleared it into the New York bench, and Popovich is yelling for a 2-minute penalty. He says, hey, he did that on purpose.
You better be careful. He will get a 2-minute penalty, but it'll be on him. That's on Baltimore.
Gomez, now to Simic at the top. Nikitovic tried to bank it in front, but a good play. Good play made down there by Lee Cornwell, number 9, to knock it away. Simic again. 50 seconds on the man advantage for the New York Arrows, trailing Baltimore 2-0. Gomez.
Tell you what, Jimmy, New York not very organized on their power play unit.
All right, time left in the penalty now, 35 seconds. And New York comes again over the midfield line. Gomez is going to allow the ball during the penalty. Of course, he created the penalty, so maybe that's poetic justice. But Jungle hasn't had it much time. I think that was supposed to be a shot, and Clavillo did not hit it very well. Clavillo with him now, and Messing giving him some words of encouragement. Time of the penalty, 9 seconds. This may be their last rush with a man advantage. Now, here's a shot that just went wide. Good feed by Nikitovic to Gomez, and he blew an open net. And the penalty now has only 3 seconds remaining, Kyle. So for all intents and purposes, Baltimore has killed his penalty.
And particularly against that player right there, Omar Gomez, the second leading man advantage goal scorer in the league with 10 to his credit this year. And the Baltimore no-goal patrol appears to be successful as Callahan is 3 seconds away from release behind the bars of the MISL penalty box. Keith Van Aaron preparing to take a goal kick. And certainly by the time the ball comes down, the penalty will have elapsed.
.8:02 to play in the second period. And the Baltimore Blast on top of the Euros, 2-0 here in Baltimore. The Civic Center looks like a jam-packed house. Callahan is out. And they're at equal strength now. Chilla on now for New York. Strenicer, he's got the ball now. They've got St. Lot in there. They've got Kitson and Jungle State. Baltimore's got Townsend, Callahan, and Birlich in there. There's a long pass up the right wing. Good work there by Joey Fink, who was on. Fink has been an up-and-down scorer this year. When Joey is hot, he goes for a bundle. He went for 7 goals in a game to set the MISL record. And then he didn't score in his next 2 games.
And unfortunately for Baltimore, the fact that they had 6 bona fide scorers on the team this year, they really have only been 2 players, Berlich and Fink, in terms of scoring goals. And it's not the way Kenny Cooper diagrammed it.
All right, Berlich. Oh, there's a shot in the just missed. Good pass by Berlich. Callahan intercepts to Joey Fink. Back to Callahan. Off the glass now. Berlich on the left board. And now it's Baltimore attacking. Shot just went wide, and Messing was late on that, Carl. It's a good thing it was wide as far as New York were concerned. And now they're going to call a foul against New York.
The foul called on Joey Fink as Franz St. Lot was knocked down, and Dino Senator with the free kick for New York.
The 3-time champions of the MISL. The Euros trailing. Jungle, 96 goals, trying to go over 100 goals for the 2nd straight year. It's incredible. You look at the leading scorer for Baltimore, he's got a good year. Fink, 47. He's had twice as many goals as Jungle.
And what's also amazing about Jungle is he leads the league in assists as well.
He's a great complete player. Here he is with the ball. And he works hard defensively too, Kyle. He works it again. Danny Cox. Nice lead pass along the left now. Stankovic just wide. Berlich going for the ball, but Chilla gets there first. Renato Chilla. 5:49 to play in the first half. Kitson now. A tough one-on-one man. Kitson leads it through. And a goal! What a pass and what a goal. Jungle scored. Great pass by Kitson, but he's about the only guy in the league that could have made that goal from that angle.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy, if we do see a replay, the margin of error here is 3 inches. The difference between Jimmy Callahan's foot and the pass from Paul Kitson to Steve Jungle. Let's take a look. As Kitson turns, Callahan is right with him. He just barely reaches out and misses. Jungle hit it first time, and unfortunately Van Aaron caught at the near post. Van Aaron, one of the top goalkeepers, the number 2 goalkeeper in the league, and Jungle just with a little head fake catches him going the wrong way and passes the ball into the net. Well, with that, we've got a timeout called by Baltimore, and we'll be back with more MISL soccer after this word from your local cable system.
Kyle, as you pointed out, he did not blast the ball in the net. Great goal scorers don't blast the ball in the net always. What they do is they get the ball in the net any way they can. He first timed it as well. He knew that he didn't have time to control the ball, and had he done that, then Callahan would have regained the half a set that he had lost. So he just directed it into the far corner. But not many people can do it so deftly. Jungle with a goal, and it's 2-1. The Blast lead the New York Heroes, and the timeout was called there, and Kenny Cooper trying to get his troops organized again, although I think Baltimore's played pretty well. They've been a bit unlucky. It could have been a lot more. Paul Popovich cooling off.
There's almost nothing that you can do to stop a goal like that. Callahan was right with it. And you just got to say it was not a defensive lapse. It was just a tremendous offensive effort by Steve Jungle and Paul Kitchen. So for Jungle, goal number 96 on the year. Paul Kitchen the assist. It's the Baltimore Blast 2 and the New York Arrows 1.
5:35 to play in the first half. Here's Ercole. Nice pass to Mangione off the boards, and Mangione's shot was deflected over the top. And the defender for New York defended it. That was Rajovac. So it'll be a corner kick now for Baltimore, and Mangione will take it. Off the set play now. Let's see what they set up.
Baltimore set up in an I formation off the far side of the penalty area.
They've got Collins there and Crossley and Ercole. Mangione's going to trigger it in off the boards, and a shot just went wide by Crossley. Not a bad attempt, though. That pass was right there. Crossley had a shot at it.
The Baltimore Blast style, very similar to pattern play in basketball. They can vary off of it and use the freedom to break off the pattern, but Cooper's such a disciplined coach that he wants his players, particularly in free kick situations, to do it the way he's diagrammed it in the locker room.
All right, New York now looking for the equalizer. They shot by Nikitovic. I'll tell you what, Collins saved the goal there.
May have lost
Van
an
Aaron
ankle.
was out.
Yep.
Van Aaron was out of the goal, and he made a great save. Now Paul Crossley, number 16. Good pass, Mangione. Goal! Nicky Mangione. And that was a deflection. The ball misdirected, and Messing was going one way, and it hit somebody and went the other way.
What a streak Nicky Mangione has had. It's his 15th goal on the year, but it's his 4th consecutive game scoring a goal, as I believe it goes off of Don Karachi. And Jim Messing was not at all at fault there. Here's another look as the pass being made across, I believe, by Crossley.
It hit Karachi. You got it right, Sal. It hit number 8, Karachi. The shot was going toward the right corner. That's where Messing was going. And then Karachi inadvertently misdirected it as far as Messing was concerned into the other corner, and it's 3-1. It's Jeff Messing's, he's not having his usual good night, although that was not his fault. None of the 3 goals were. Mangione's 15 goals, as Kyle pointed out. And when the Mangione family comes out here, they pick up half the...
They've got all of section 26.
There's a shot, and it's knocked down. Joey Fink with it. New York, Karachi gets it back. Callahan intercepts. 4:34 to play in the first half. And Baltimore leading 3-1 and coming on the attack. Jeff Messing rolls it out now to Rajovac. New York looks a little more intense now, Kyle. Van Aaron came a long way to clear the ball. Counts, won it in the air. Virulent. McEvan on now for Baltimore. Here's Joey Fink. Fink, the shot just went wide. Just missed. Joey Fink. Mark Liverich battling, and they're going to call a foul against Baltimore. McEvan. That was 3:56 to go in the first half, and Baltimore at top 3-1. By the way, Kyle will be talking to the fine Baltimore coach, Kenny Cooper, at halftime. And we'll be reviewing some of the top scores, the standings, the playoff picture, Kyle.
And again, another weekly feature, the MISL Star Selection of the Week.
Liverich had it knocked away by Callahan. Fink collected, counts, goes cross field to open it up. Jimmy Callahan. Baltimore at top 3-1. On the left, the Virulent. Knocked away from him. Good defensive pressure applied there. And good move by Gomez to get around 3 players. Gomez still there, trying to get it in front to Liverich. But a great effort by Omar Gomez that time, Kyle.
Tremendous effort and good speed with the ball.
Danny Counts hand fighting Karachi. Rajovac with the ball for the New York Arrows in white. 3 minutes to play in the first half, and it's 3-1 Baltimore on top. In the middle of the field, this is Gomez. Now to Mark Liverich to the left. Callahan will mark him. Liverich had the shot blocked down. Mark goes for the ball, but it's stolen from him. And it's Baltimore coming the other way with Nicky Mangione. He scored the third goal. Nice pass to Callahan. In the corner now, Crossley back to the point. Interesting pass.
I don't think he meant to do that at all, but could have been a fast break the other way. Baltimore extremely lucky. To Callahan, the header inside. Here comes Crossley.
Trying to get to Oakley in the foul. What a collision. Crossley colliding in the corner. That was not intentional. Crossley applied the hit as both players went for the ball. And the New York player is shaken up.
Looks like Mike Razorback. As here comes Crossley. He gets past the first player. And both players going for the ball. But unfortunately, no way out as the wall met the intersection of the Arrows and Baltimore Blast players. Crossley up, walking off, limping. And it looks like Bobby Baldwin administering kind of an orthopedic stress test to that knee. That is for lateral stability. Yep.
You're right, Kyle. That is Razorback. I think he's going to be all right now. All right, it's a 3-1 ball game. The Baltimore Blast over the New York Arrows. Razorback looks pretty ginger. That was a pretty good hit. But unintentional. No foul call in the play. 16 to play. Well, yes, there was a foul call on Crosby, but it's not going to be a foul where we're going to have somebody in the penalty box.
One of those situations where whoever the first player up is going to get the foul called on him. I don't think it was either player's fault, as you said.
All right, Gomez down the ball. New York down 3-1. And attacking. Clavillo, number 14. Ferdinando Clavillo. Good steal there by Simmons. Dragon Simmons. Michia. Back in the corner for Simmons. He plays it out front. And now a chance for Gomez. Pulls the trigger. Misdirected shot again off Stankovic, but this one didn't go in the net. Just a deflection. And now it's Urkeley. Back to Mangione with 1:30 to play in the half. I'm sure Kenny Cooper would be very happy to go in at halftime with a 2-goal lead against the New York Arrows.
Stankovic waiting to let all the Baltimore players get on. Cooper in the midst of a player exchange. And Stankovic, the heady player that he is, decided not to attack until all his teammates were on the field.
All right, here comes Jungle. To Simic on the left. Jungle trailing the play. And the tackle and the interception. Here comes Berlich. Berlich got a man wide open to the right. There is that man in front of Berlich. One pass too many. Joey Fink trying to make a pass in traffic there. Baltimore's done that a couple of times tonight. They had a 3-on-1 break and misplayed it. But they lead 3-1, so they've done something right in the first half. 38 seconds to play in the half, Kyle.
The same score, 3-1. Baltimore has led 2 out of the 3 games at half.
And a goal! And that was deflected. The goal will be given to Simmons, but again, that hit a defender, hit a Baltimore defender, and went in the net with 29 seconds.
Let's take a look. I thought it was Mike Stankovic, perhaps, that the ball deflected off of. Number 5, Stankovic turning around right here. Here comes the shot. Nope. Went off of number 18, John Collins, off his back.
Dragon Simmons gets credit for the goal, and it's 3-2 now. Baltimore by 1. 29 seconds to play in the first half. And Keith Van Aaron had no chance at all for that. As you saw, the ball hit the back of his defender, Collins, and into the net. 22 seconds to play in a half. Baltimore attacks now. Joey Fink's shot deflected. Counts, battles for the ball with 11 seconds. Jimmy Callahan. Berlich, tackle away. Nice play by Michia in front. Knocked out by Michia. Berlich tries to get it back up in front. Crawls over the boards with 3 seconds.
Going to give it to New York, it looks like. A kick-in for New York. 3 seconds to go in the half. Be sure to stay with us. We'll be talking about the MISL star selection at halftime. Perhaps have some highlights and bring you up to date on all that's happening in the MISL tonight.
That's the end of the first half. And the score. The Baltimore Blast 3 and the Euros 2. We'll be back with our halftime activities in just a moment.
Selection is an award that can go to, well, a different player just about every week. But in a unanimous decision, the MISL star selection this week goes to a familiar personality, Steve Jungle. A 3-person voting panel of Professional Soccer Reporters Association members could name no other. And why this week? Well, 11 goals and 7 assists are sometimes expected from Jungle, but a particular feat against Baltimore last Friday night put the scoring machine into a higher strata. The Blast were holding a 5-3 lead with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Then someone let Jungle loose. Goals at 10:06, 10:24, 10:43, and then the score tied at 5. 3 goals in just 37 seconds. Another MISL record, one that previously was also held by Jungle in 77 seconds. Jungle scored again at 1:06 of the final quarter, giving him 4 goals in a record 6 minutes. Another record previously held by Jungle in 7:33. Steve Jungle, the unanimous star selection of the week. And then on top.
All right, the score here at halftime at the Baltimore Civic Center. 3 for the Baltimore Blast and 2 for the 3-time defending MISL champion New York Heroes. Scoring got underway very quickly for Baltimore. Crossley powered in a shot from just inside the line to make it 1-0, and then Berlich on a great feed from Counts made it 2-0. But then Jungle with a beautiful goal. He touched it in on a fine pass, and he made it 2-1. But then it was Nicky Mangione making it 3-1 as his shot deflected off Karashi, went in the net. But then 29 seconds before the end of the half, turnabout, I guess, is fair play, Kyle, because a hard drive from the right side, taken by Dragon Simic, deflected off Collins, a Baltimore defender, made it 3-2 where we stand at halftime. Speaking of standing, let's
Last Eldon assist. Down the line, number 2 all year long, Stan Terlecki of Pittsburgh. Also all year long, number 3, Stan Stamenkovic, the Yugoslavian all-star of Memphis, and Gomez, Kyle David, all the way down. Goalkeepers, we've got a pleasure tonight to watch the goalkeeping talents of Keith Van Aaron, number 2 in the MISL right now. 4.07 goals against average, which is 1/100th of a goals against average point above the record, which was 4.06 last year. But you see that Slobo Ilieski of St. Louis right now on a record-setting pace, goals against average of 3.78.
All right, we'll be back for a talk with Baltimore Blast coach Ken, the Baltimore Civic Center on the shores of the Chesapeake. And the Baltimore Blast lead the New York Heroes 3-2. Now, before the game, Kyle Rote had a chance to chat with an old friend, a teammate at Dallas, Kenny Cooper, who was an outstanding goalkeeper in this league, in the MISL as well as the NASL. But in any event, Kyle had a chance to renew an old friendship.
The Baltimore Blast team, and I guess the general Troopers. Kenny, you were a great player when you played, and you played with a lot of intensity. This Baltimore Blast team, I know, reflects much of your own personality, but it's got to be pretty frustrating when you go into a game, as you did with Pittsburgh, got ahead 8-1, and to see them come back, and even though you still won the game 8-5 or 8-4, that goal difference is going to mean a big bit in the playoffs. I think the only way we can redeem ourselves, Kyle, is to win here tonight in Baltimore, and then go up to New York tomorrow and win in New York. I think the players are a little bit despondent. We needed 6-goal lead over Pittsburgh, and we had it, and then lacked concentration, lacked discipline, and I got on top of the players this week pretty hard about it. And I think tonight is a matter of coming out and doing a job on New York to bring back some confidence and some belief in themselves. And, of course, what that means, that lessened victory against Pittsburgh means that you can't just tie them. You will have to outdo them and finish clearly in second place to be able to have the home place, second place advantage. You're getting a reputation around the league as kind of the Vince Lombardi of soccer. I don't know if you reject that or accept it, but you're a very hard guy to play for because you're very demanding on your players, but that style has been successful for you. Well, I think, Kyle, that we all need to realize soccer hasn't made it in the States yet, and all these MISL franchises, Wichita, St. Louis, are doing a great job, and you've got to be tough. You've got to have a lot of discipline, and I think that rubs off on the players, and at the end of the season, you have success. Before the game, we mentioned something about Steve Jungle being shut out by your team 4 times. And he's only been shut out 9 times in Jungle's 127-game career. You've had success against him 4 times. How can you succeed against Jungle where other coaches and other teams cannot?
Well, I think we have to match him up with Mike Stankovic tonight. Stankovic has had a lot of injuries all season, but came to me this week and said, look, I want to take Steve Jungle. We played him last week in New York, and we shut him down for 3 periods, and then he walked on water for 3 minutes, and we all drowned around him. So tonight, there's no water in the Civic Center, so we have to do a job on him here tonight.
Ken Cooper, as adept with words as you are with soccer tactics, we thank you as, again, we're enjoying another Baltimore backstreet battle. Kenny Cooper, the coach of the Baltimore Blast, thanks very much. And now, back up to you, Jim.
Well, the Jungle has drowned an out a lot of teams in this league and other leagues as well. Kenny Cooper, an outstanding young coach in this league. Halftime score, Kenny Cooper's Baltimore Blast on top of the New York Arrows, 3-2. And as we said this season, rolling down now, winding down to the last few games, and with it, those terrific races for the playoffs. And Kyle, a big game going on tonight for the Baltimore club, and that's the New Jersey and Pittsburgh, and they're 2-2 in the first period. Now, New Jersey's been no patsy of late either. They've started to play pretty good soccer, and the Blast would love for New Jersey, the Rockets, to upset Pittsburgh tonight. It's 2-2 in the Meadowlands.
Not only that, but the Buffalo-Philly game is important as well. Buffalo ahead of Philly at the point 5-1, but Buffalo has a chance to catch Baltimore. Buffalo's only 2.5 games behind Baltimore, or 3 games behind them at this point, and so numerically they can catch up, and of course that would mean that Baltimore...
There's the great man, Steve Jungle. He wants to get on with things. His club down 3-2, Baltimore on top. And the second half is underway. St. Lot. That's Renato Chilla. Michi is on. Jungle number 7. And Gomez. That's the lineup for New York. Stankovic just fouled Jungle. He's on with Callahan. Fairlich is on. Danny Counts is on.
Tell you what, Stankovic is quite a physical specimen. It looks like Fairlich, Stankovic, Joey Fink as well for Baltimore.
Van Aaron in the goal for Baltimore tonight. Shep Messing for New York. Jungle trying to head it back to Gomez in the slot. Broken up by Baltimore. Here comes Fairlich. Just starting the second half, 3-2 Baltimore. Nice tackle by Chilla. All the way out to the midfield line to Jungle. Jungle, good ball to Michia. In front for Jungle, just behind him. That, my friend, is a talent. Being able to angle that ball off the boards, and it's almost like being a good billiard player, knowing just where to hit the bank.
And Stankovic again for Baltimore is going to go 1-against-1 against Jungle. There was an opportunity on that last attack by New York to switch off. He did not.
All right, here's Gomez. Jungle back to Gomez. Good play by Fink that time as he got his body in front of Gomez and broke it up. Joey Fink. Good play to get around the tackle by Franz St. Lot at midfield. Joey Fink. On the left now to Callahan. Jim Callahan in the New York zone. Back for Callahan. Broken up by St. Lot, number 17. Now New York tries to come out. Jungle at midfield with Stankovic. Jungle still on the ball. Stankovic tackled it away, but Gomez toes it into the slot. Too far. Barely. Good pass to Danny Cox.
Danny Counts trying to keep Franz St. Lot on his back as he was going 1-against-3 as Baltimore trying to change players on the fly. And Counts losing the ball to 3 New York defenders. The 3-line pass, our first one of the night, as the ball being cleared by Renato Chilla of the Arrows over the full midfield without the ball either touching a player or the field.
All right, Baltimore now will have a free kick at the New York Arrows line. Played 1 minute and 53 seconds of the third period, and Baltimore is still on top 3-2 in the game. Michia won the ball, but Baltimore gets it back. Shot knocked out of the slot by Chilla. Stuart Metcalf on now for Baltimore. I think it's the first time we've seen him tonight, Kyle, number 4.
Those long wavy locks, I'm sure it is. He stands out very clearly.
Chilla knocked it into the crowd away from Collins. And it'll be a Baltimore free kick, and Baltimore makes the change, and here comes Ercole and Mangione. 3-2, Baltimore on top here in the third period, with 12:47 to play in period number 3. Strenicer on now, battling with Ercole for the ball. In the slot, boy, good pass by Ercole, almost got to Mangione.
Goal-saving toe was Paul Kitson. Was on the far side of Mangione, who had his 24th birthday last week when he scored 2 goals against New York. He's been in the league 3 years. He still looks so young.
I tell you, that's a great soccer family. As a shot just went wide. And here's Jungle. You see him looking around as he came up. He wanted to know exactly where everybody was. He's a complete player. Steal by Stankovic. And now it's Mangione with a burst of speed. Gets by a couple of players, and the shot just went wide. Great effort by Nicky. Shot. Metcalf is wide, and Jungle comes back to win the ball. He's got Tuchka up on the right side. Kitson breaking up the middle. He goes instead to Stan Karashi. Little back heel for Jungle. Jungle and Karashi and Tuchka and Kitson. Strenicer in front. Almost. Mangione made a good play, and I believe they're going to call a foul against Kitson. Kitson trying to tackle the ball into the goal, and they call a foul.
I think it's on Mike Stankovic. I think it's Stankovic is going to get 2 minutes for boarding.
Right off the ball, I guess. He really took a shot at Jungle.
As Jungle, who, again, has set earlier this year an MISL record for consecutive games played, is not only the most skilled player in the league, but the most durable.
All right, with a score. Baltimore Blast 3 and the New York Heroes 2. We'll be back in just a moment. Penalty to Stankovic. New York had one other power play in the first half. They did not materialize with that. Simic, who scored the second goal for New York 29 seconds before the end of the half, is on now. New York has Kitson in the power play and Jungle in the slot. This is Simic and Tuchka. And that looks like Gomez over there. That's Gomez on the ball now. Shot, saved. Good play. Cutting in was Simic. And Keith Van Aaron made the sprawling save as you saw. New York wins it again. Kitson, they've got Jungle on the other side of the goal. Kitson beat Van Aaron. The game is tied at 3, and the power play successful for the New York Heroes.
Take a look again on replay as Baltimore, with an early steal, tried to get the ball out of their own zone, unable to do that. And Paul Kitson came on with Steve Jungle to his right. Here again is the steal. As you'll see, very few Baltimore, if any, defenders right there. Finally, Pollahan, I believe, comes over. No, it wasn't. But either way, the shot by Kitson was Jungle on the right side, Gomez in the crease, and the Heroes 3-on-1 against Keith Van Aaron have tied up the score.
That was Cornwell down there that Kitson made a nice move to get around, and that would he set up the goal. And it's a 3-3 game now. We're all tied up. Baltimore had a 3-1 lead in this game. They led by 2 goals on 2 occasions, at 2-0 and at 3-1. But now the Heroes have tied the game at 3. Mike Strenicer wins the ball for New York. So both teams now back to full advantage with the goal being scored in the power play. Mark Liverich on it. Liverich trying to get it over to his left side. Bad pass by Mark. Strenicer wins it. Karachi back to Strenicer at the midfield line. The near left board. Nicholas is in there, number 12. Oh, you're right, Kyle. They have so many players. Popovich just keeps putting fresh bodies out there, and the great thing is that they can all play. He's not giving much away when he puts a Nicholas in the game. On Mark Liverich, who's in front, tried to slip it by, then had it knocked away.
Oh, bad pass by Count.
Baltimore on a couple of occasions has been very sloppy clearing the ball. That's really why they ended up with a tie. It was bad clearance that gave New York a chance to tie the game. Got 10 minutes to play now in the third period. It's tied at 3. Strenicer in the slot. That's a good effort there by Fernando Clavillo, number 14 in New York. Knocked down and got up and came off with the ball.
Thinking of Jimmy Pollahan nipping at his heel.
Simic playing it wide. Clavillo. Nikitovic didn't trap it very well. And Danny Counts chases it down in the zone. Dan Counts, who's got an assist tonight. He leads his club in assists. He assisted on the second goal for Baltimore. That made it 2-0. A nice pass back to Barrett. A little backheel in the slot, but nobody there for Baltimore. In actual fact, this Baltimore franchise, has really been done in by the New York Heroes because they are the old Houston club, right, Kyle?
They are, yep.
And they've beaten them on a number of occasions for titles and in big games. And Kenny Cooper was around as a player. There's a shot that just went wide. Almost. Liverich almost made it a 4-3 game. There's Pollahan with it. Crossfield, nice ball. Counts knocked down by Strenicer. Boy, you don't see Danny Counts go down very often.
That was not something that he wanted to do, but as you said, the dominance of this team. Take a look at the back angle. You'll see the movement of the play. Little interchange, and much like attacking a zone defense, get the ball on one side, then quickly cross it to the other.
One thing you notice about New York always, I have, Kyle, and now the fourth year that I'm seeing them play, one thing they always do is they always have space. They always create space. Liverich to the goal! Mark Liverich scored the goal that gave New York its first lead of the night. And you know he loves that for two reasons. First of all, his team is up, but he did it against his ex-mate.
And he had some problems with Kenny Cooper, not a disciplined player. Liverich hits the boards, and the ball deflects off the back of Van Aren's head. So Van Aren covering the goal, but the deflection. Here's a real interesting look. As you'll see, Liverich gets wide. It'll hit just behind the MISL side. Hit Van Aren in the back of the head. And so Mark Liverich gets on the scoreboard. And for Liverich, that's goal number 19 on the year.
What a save by Messing and a diving header by Nicky Mangione. Mangione had a great header on goal. Now here's Nick Mangione again. Gets away from a tackle. And now is fouled by Jungle. Jungle fouled Mangione. Nicky Mangione had Shep Messing point blank, and Messing made a great save. Popovich loves the call.
You wonder why he has no hair left on his head for the reason.
Ryan Mangione now off the set play tells people, let's move, let's get some movement. There's a shot that's handled by Messing. That's a tough shot.
What a great outlet to Jungle from Messing.
And a goal!
The assist to Shep Messing. He quickly got the ball under control, and within seconds of the Liverich goal, New York scoring again. Tremendous speed and a little help with the hand as Metcalf gets outraced, and Messing one more time, Jungle one more time, nearly passing the ball into the net. Kenny Cooper calling timeout again as we look once more at the replay of Jungle passing the ball underneath just prior to the dive of Benny Van Aren.
He picked out that right-hand corner about an inch inside the post. And you know what? That was typical. That was vintage New York Hero soccer. That was because the great release by Messing and Jungle taking it down. All right, there's a timeout here, 5-3 in favor of New York. We'll be back after this, 8-6. Now in this game, keep in mind, Baltimore led 3-1 after the Mangione goal in the first half. Since then, 4 straight unanswered goals by the New York Heroes, and they lead 5-3, Kyle.
And you can only wonder what Kenny Cooper said to his players, but I'm sure he's terribly disappointed, that lack of concentration. But again, a great play by Steve Jungle.
Nagy in the game now for Baltimore. First time we've seen him tonight. Or maybe he was in a little bit in that first half.
He was in early, yep.
Yeah, in early, but we didn't see much of him. Kenny Cooper now has Fink out there and Pollahan. Nicky Mangione, who's played well. Now to Pollahan. Nagy wears number 21, by the way. All right, Fink got it clear. Adjavec got it back to the goalkeeper, Shep Messing. 7 minutes remain to play in the third period. And the New York Heroes lead Baltimore 5-3. Still a nice pass up here to Gomez. Ron St. Lot on with him, and so is Jungle. 2 goes to Steve. A little give and go for Jungle. Off the mark, and Van Aaron fires out to Nick Mangione. Mangione, good pass now to Joey Fink. New York playing very good defensively now, Kyle. Good steal by Chilla. And here comes the counterattack. Chilla, good ball to Gomez on the right. Mangione marking him. Good ball outside the box to Jungle. Waits for somebody to cut through. Had nobody there, and intelligently goes back to third again. Ball possession is so important, Kyle. So many times you see players just give it away.
And it really frustrates the defensive team. You have to give a lot of credit to Mike Stankovic, though, tonight. He has yet to let Jungle score. Jungle has scored both his goals against other defenders. Callahan, the first one. Metcalf, the second one.
All right, there's a great pass by Jungle, and it set Rajovac, and the shot just went wide. He just missed it.
There's the difference between Rajovac and Steve Jungle. Jungle put that away, and Rajovac was 6 inches off. It doesn't sound like much, but it's a world of difference.
And also keep in mind that it was a brilliant Jungle pass that set Rajovac free to begin with. And that's where those assists come in that Kyle was talking about. Gomez. Not Amicia. Val Tuchka. At midfield, this is Jungle. Took a lot of ball control by New York in this second half. Hercules for Baltimore. Danny Counts in the slot, comes out wide. Gomez, good release pass to Stan Karashi. Karashi got away from the tackle by Collins, and now to Gomez, and now to Tuchka in front, and a good save. Great pass by Tuchka to Gomez, and a good save by Van Aaron, Kyle.
Tremendous quick 1-2 by New York. You can see all their players multi-skilled. Tuchka, a solid rock defender with a great return pass off the give and go.
Kitchen is in now for Gomez. And Berlich almost barreled through, if you'll excuse that expression. Now it's Karashi. Dan Karashi. Juan Carlos Mejia. Val Tuchka. Steve Jungle to the midfield line. To the Baltimore line. Turning Stankovic around. What a pass to Kitchen back. Boy, that was beautiful soccer, wasn't it? And Jungle motions to Popovich, says, I need a blow. And he goes off, and Liveridge comes on for him. Liveridge, whose goal made it 4-3, gave New York its first lead of the game, is on now and with the ball. To Kitson. He had Liveridge, but he didn't get it to him quickly enough. Kitson's still on it. Now to Liveridge. Kitson didn't get rid of that ball when he should have, Kyle.
No, and one reason is Liveridge all left-footed. I think Kitson knew that he couldn't get it to Liverich's left foot from that side.
Good point. Maxwell, the referee, Gene DiPolito, assisting him behind the board. Outstanding official as well. Oh, what a shot by Berlich. It was knocked down by the defense. Now coming in for Baltimore, number 6, McCavin. McCavin in for Baltimore. There he is, number 6. Jim Callahan. Dan Counts. Baltimore down by 2. They have not scored. They have not scored since late stages of the second period. And what a save by Messi. That was a beautiful little flick on by Danny Counts.
The Herman Award winner, which is much like the Heisman Trophy in soccer.
I'm surprised that he's got that touch around the goal. Remember that when he won that award, he was an outstanding center forward. Liveridge tried to get around. McCavin picked his pocket. Picked his foot. Now Danny Counts back to McCavin. Time remaining 2:39 in period number 3, and the Arrows had scored 3 goals in the third period to take a 5-3 lead. Baltimore led 3-2 at the half.
It's almost as if the Arrows are so good that they just decide not to play the first half. And then when it gets tight, just to have a challenge, they decide to start to play late in the game.
Mejia, and now almost. Liveridge tried to run it through to Kitson. Baltimore broke it up. The idea was good. Hercules the other way. Ercole cuts to the middle. He's got Berlich on the left side. Berlich has it, tries to get it in the slot. It's headed away by Clavello. And that was a push against Berlich. Berlich.
Good call. The fans are booing, but Berlich was frustrated. He couldn't get the ball any better. And it's a dead ball play, so the teams cannot change until the ball is back in play. Now they do. Messing waits.
All right, Nikolic comes on for New York. Mangioni's back for the Baltimore Blast. Nikolic, Nikitovic, excuse me. Now to Ercole, number 11. McCavin goes back to Keith Van Aaron, who's really been under the gun here in the third period.
Be a three-line pass by Keith Van Aaron.
Well, this jam-packed crowd at the Civic Center in Baltimore hasn't had a lot to shout about here in the third period. In fact, they've had nothing to shout about because Baltimore's been held goalless, and New York's got 3 to take a 5-3 lead. Baltimore, a very explosive team, though. I'll tell you, if they get one back here, this place will go bananas, and then they'll really be a threat.
Well, if he plays the ball back to Messing's hands, he didn't. But if he does, after the ball's been in midfield, Messing could not pick it up with his hands.
Nikitovic now, Mangioni marking him. Nikitovic, good control. Dragon Simic plays it over to Mark Livery. In the Baltimore zone, the white-clad Arrows of New York. Cleared back outside the line to the veteran Strenister. Strenister now leads Simic into the ball, but Mangioni got there first, as did Ercole. We have 47 seconds to play in a New York third period. That has the Arrows on top of Baltimore 5-3. MISL Friday Night Soccer. Jim Carvelis and Kyle Rose Jr. I hope you enjoy. A chance for Mangioni. Mickey's had 2 good chances. That was one of them. The other one, he took a great header that Messing made a terrific save on. And Simic on the counterattack. And is New York great with this, Kyle? So many goals they score on the counterattack.
And it's almost been a systematic dissection of this Baltimore team, almost a dry. They don't seem all that excited when they score. It's what is expected of New York. A very heavy burden to have that much potential.
Collins tried to cut through, couldn't get there. And that is the end of the third period. That is the end of the third period, and New York is on top 5-3.
We take a look
Basketball,
at
you'll have a chance to see 2 of the game's most exciting young players. Don't miss rookie stars Kelly Tripucka and Isaiah Thomas as the Detroit Pistons, looking for their first playoff appearance in 5 years, host the Cleveland Cavaliers. It all begins live at 8 p.m. Eastern next week on USA's Thursday night NBA basketball.
And also next week, live from Anaheim Stadium, see the season premiere of USA's Thursday night Major League Baseball as the star-studded California Angels take the field against the Seattle Mariners. With the addition of Reggie Jackson to the Angels all-star lineup, the folks in Anaheim are already thinking World Series. Well, that may be a bit premature, but don't miss the Angels and Mariners live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern next week on the USA Cable Network.
All right, a lot of great fans here in Baltimore. A young lady didn't look too happy now, but who knows what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes. 5-3 New York on top. 50 states, huh, Kyle?
That's 50 states, an international audience, but the big issue at the moment, I think, is for that man, Peter Barilich and Kenny Cooper. What can they do? You know, as we look at the game, certainly Baltimore cannot afford any more penalties, Jim. They've lost 1 power play goal, and this New York team just cannot be given continued advantages. They have such a good man advantage unit. Secondly, they've got to keep Stankovic on Jungle. Again, Stankovic has kept Jungle from scoring as Stankovic attacks.
All right, Stankovic on the attack. Good play, though, by Gomez. Took it right off his foot.
But it's when Jungle gets lined up one-on-one with other Baltimore defenders that he's had so much success.
Jungle. And now to St. Lot. Van Aaron almost stopped. And now the shot just missed. Boy, Van Aaron made a mistake. And Jungle almost made him pay for it. Now it's Baltimore. They're looking a little peppy here as they start the fourth period. They better get peppy. They're down 5-3. Stankovic now leads it for Berlich in the corner, but Rajovac saw that all the way, and he was going over there to pick it off almost from the point that it was released off the Baltimore player's foot.
And now changing strategy, Jim, as Stankovic has gone up forward. And we see how the arrow's set up. Two players back now messing with the ball, but Stankovic has gone off of Steve Jungle. And I expect we'll see a lot more goals from Steve Jungle before the night's over because of that.
McCammon now trying to guard Jungle, who got it to Gomez, and the shot is dribbling toward the goal, and Van Aaron made the play. What a pass by Jungle that time.
They're going to put Stankovic up front because of his skills. There he is.
Stankovic took his eye off the ball and went by him, and he wins it on the boards anyway. And now he's stripped to the boards. He was tackled by St. Lot. Renato Chilla, nice skill and a great pass. What a pass. Gomez, he's got Jungle with him. They go wide to Franz St. Lot. St. Lot getting out on his left side now, has nowhere to go. It was all congested, and he just brought it back to Chilla. Rajovac, number 22. Dan Karashi's pass is off the mark, and Berlich has it. Stankovic tips it over now to Palahan. Ercele's in the ball game now. Stankovic with a shot, and it hit the underside of the crossbar and came out. Bad break for Baltimore. And a goal!
Jeff Messing upset. He's taking his gloves off and throwing them on the ground. That's while he stands up. And the Baltimore Blast people come to their feet. The New York Arrow defense was caught not moving their feet at all. As the 1-2, Jimmy Palahan plays it off the backboard to himself. Here's again the shot by Stankovic, underside of the crossbar, as Jimmy told you. Then a poor clearance, and here comes Palahan. The left-footed shot, then the right-footed follow-up. And I apologize if you're lip-reading Jeff Messing's mouth, but he's not very happy.
But the Baltimore fans are.
Oh, goodness.
And this place is alive again. That was Baltimore's first goal of the second half, and now they're down 5-4. Messing was mad because of the clearance, the sloppy clearance that really set that up. Because New York had the ball, they just didn't get it out. But they were very lucky that Stankovic's shot didn't go in, because that was really there. That was a great shot. Now it's 5-4. New York by only one. Collins for Baltimore. Now they're looking for the equalizer. They've got Ercele and Mangione out there. Joey Fink gets away from a tackle, plays it in front, just behind Ercele. Just behind him. And he'd have been wide open. Simic, not a good pass to Jungle with speed. He stayed on the ball and still won it over to a teammate, Chilla. The speedy Kitson on the left wing. And the save and the follow-up missed by Simic. A good opportunity for New York. And now it's Baltimore with it. And a lot of time to play, 11:45. And it's 5-4 New York, and the Blast trying to come from behind now. Fink knocked away. Juan Carlos Nicia. Now an interception by Mangione.
Baltimore trying to seal the ball in the attack zone. As they do, Messing the diving save quickly after Dragon Simic.
Messing cut that cross off the glass by Mangione very, very well. All right, here comes Simic. In front, and a great save. Great save by Van Aaron. Liverich was about to walk in for his second goal, and Van Aaron made a sensational save.
Van Aaron knew it was coming as the ball had to go off the sideboard. He saw two New York Arrow players coming into the box and just threw his body out. Kind of a human sacrifice. And fortunately, the ball deflecting off of Liverich. Van Aaron, Liverich one more time, but they've given a corner kick to New York.
It hit Van Aaron last. Now Kitson on the corner kick, and Stankovic has it for Baltimore. 5-4. New York on top. But the Civic Center in Baltimore is alive. Berlich, and what a save by Messing. Messing with a great save on Berlich. Kitson gets around Palahan. Here comes Van Aaron out to become a fullback. And here comes Stankovic. Baltimore now has it taken away from behind. Palahan. Back to Palahan. Goal! Jimmy Palahan was all tied up. It's again the 1-2. Barrelage back to Palahan. The toe poke with the right toe past Messing. And for Jimmy Palahan, it's the 5th goal of the night for the Baltimore Blast, the 2nd of the night for Palahan, only his 8th on the year, but never were two any more valuable than the two of Jimmy Palahan tonight. And this Baltimore Blast 7th man, all 10,000 strong, is standing up and they'll rock it. And Messing isn't too happy. Great give and go. Jimmy Palahan, another guy that was a center forward in college, but came into outdoor soccer professionally and played at fullback.
And also a former member of this New York Arrow team in their very first championship year.
So now, Kyle, a brand new game at 5. Baltimore has been sacrificing big leads this year, but now they're trying to come from behind. And what a win this would be for them if they pull it out. Kicks him, misses. Barrelage along the board. And that guy can motor. Barrelage. And knocked off the ball by Fernando Clavijo. Now it's Kitson. A lot of speed on here now for New York with Kitson in there.
Jungle now yelling to Kitson for the bad pass, but Jungle made the run and stopped the run halfway. It was really his fault.
All right, here's Palahan, who's hot. Cross field for Palahan. Clavijo made the play. Michia has it stolen. Joey Fink lost the ball. Nikitovic back to Michia. And New York coming out of their own zone. Ron St. Lot to Michia. Clavijo over the midfield line now with 9:23 to play in regulation. These two clubs played a sudden death game here, and New York won it 8-7. Clavijo, the midfield line. Collins won't let him get away. Jungle. McCavin's on him. He gets around, and a great save. Great save, and I'll tell you, he's really wasting McCavin. Saying a lot. And Van Aaron's coming up big now, Carl.
He is at Baltimore taking the risk, leading Stankovic up. Here he is. I'm hoping that Stankovic will score more goals on the other end than Jungle will for New York.
Joey Fink. Collins trying to play it in front. New York in their own zone now. Nikitovic back to Strenicer and Nikitovic. They're under pressure, though. That's a good pass to break the pressure. Clavijo going now to Jungle. Steve Jungle. And another great save. And another save of the goal!
What we said, Jimmy, let Jungle go against someone other than Stankovic, and he's going to score.
That's
We'll take a
incredible
look again. The first shot, a great save, really, by Van Aaron as the ball was slicing away, and again from an almost impossible angle with McAvan right on him. And here it is again. He turns him. There's the first shot, the bounce back, and Van Aaron unable to even get back on his feet before the shot. And the quick trigger of Steve Jungle has recorded now another hat trick. It's his 98th goal on the year.
Steve Jungle. A 3-goal hat trick. All right, we'll be back with more MISL soccer after this word from your local cable system.
Okay, back at the Civic Center in Baltimore, 8:10 left in this game. The Blast coming back in that fourth period with 2 quick goals to tie it up. After entering the fourth period down 5-3, now find themselves back one more time as Steve Jungle, his 3rd goal on the night. Another hat trick for Jungle. And that's his 19th hat trick of the year as we get prepared to start the kickoff with Baltimore.
Ike Stankovic now coming on the attack for Baltimore. It's 6-5. New York on top again on the Steve Jungle goal, his third of the night. Stankovic got it knocked away by Karashi. Berilich in front, knocked out of the slot by Karashi. And now Counts mishit it.
Did he mishit it? He got to a point where the carpet crease came, and the Counts, I believe, tripped on the carpet and really got his foot underneath the ball. Unfortunate timing, as it really made it look like kind of an Alphonse and Gaston routine.
We have 7:45 to play in the game. And it's 6-5 New York over Baltimore. Capacity House in attendance here at the Civic Center in Baltimore. Here comes Jungle again. And no! Nikitovic from Jungle.
Well,
what a one-man game he is.
It's really Jungle's goal. Of course, Nikitovic, as Jim said, did knock it in, but once again he goes one-on-one with McAvan, and it is a mismatch. As McAvan even trying to grab him with his hands, but Jungle too fleet of foot even for that tactic. And tremendous vision. You see Van Aaron trying to come out and cut off the angle. He does a pretty good job trying to slide into the feet. And once again, the precise pass as Danny Counts was there for Baltimore, and it was not as if they left Nikitovic wide open.
7-5. The New York Heroes on top. Baltimore coming again. Stankovic repelled by Strenizer. 7-5 New York over Baltimore with 7:11 to play in the game. Jungle is down in front of the Baltimore bench on the field. Now slowly getting up as Baltimore comes up. Berilich. Jungle back on his feet again. And now all of a sudden he's running.
Yeah,
There he comes.
he really got hurt, didn't he?
Gets around the goalkeeper. Now tries to play it in front. He was on the ground, and all of a sudden he got up. He looked like he was about to die, and the ball came loose, and he took off like a world-class sprinter. Here he is again, still on the ball. Well, he creates so much problems for defense. Well, Kyle, you call it. That was the strategy. He takes Stankovic, who plays him well, off, and puts Stankovic on the attack. Well, they were down by 2 goals, and I guess Kenny Cooper figured he had to do something. Well, he tied the game on 2 Callahan goals, but then Jungle destroys them again.
Well, in all honesty, poor McAvan is a good player, but Jungle is just so superior player.
Cornwall is now out for Baltimore. This is Jim Callahan. Takes the shot, deflected. Spencer knocks it out of the slot. Chilla distributes well to Gomez. At the midfield line with 5:45 to play in the game. 7-5 New York over Baltimore. Stankovic made a pass that just got under Erkele's foot. Pat's had a tough night, Erkele.
And pushed from behind on that man, San Karachi.
In the slot, Cornwall almost fell down trying to knock it in. Berilich now with a loose ball to the midfield line. 5.5 minutes to play in the game. Plenty of time for Baltimore. Here comes Dan Counts. Dan's crossfield pass, and Erkele, that was a tough ball to convert, though. A lot of pace in the ball. Good pass delivered in the left corner now. Mark did not control it well.
Remember, Cooper has been known to pull his goalkeeper very early as the second quarter of a game.
Mike Stankovic now.
His problem now, though, is that he doesn't have a timeout in which to really pull it off the way he'll want to.
Well, we'll wait for that, Kyle. Erkele heads it over towards Joey Fink. Fink around his man, runs into Messing, who clears it. Liverich under pressure from Nicky Mangione. Mangione, a much more physical player, Kyle, this year than I ever remember him being.
And again, as we told you, now here comes the switch. John Collins now coming in as goalkeeper.
Collins, you're right on. So Baltimore, with 4:40 to play in the game and down by 2, They haven't pulled their goalkeeper, but in effect they're taking him out and putting an attacking player on for him. But he'll still have a goalkeeper shirt, a green shirt on.
And in fact, they let John Collins take a whole nother routine at goal during their practice routine. Here he is, John Collins in the green shirt.
All right, Collins with the ball at the New York line. So they have an empty net now. Baltimore gambling to get back in this game. Now, if they get a goal here, they'll probably put the goalkeeper back again. 4:20 to play. There's the empty goal. Well, Baltimore trying to knock it in this goal here with the goalkeeper in front.
It was Keith Van Aaron of Baltimore who scored that kind of a goal against Wichita earlier in the season.
I was going to ask you about that, Tom. I noticed it on the stat sheet where Van Aaron had scored a goal.
He bounced the ball in midfield. There's the extra man, John Collins, down to Counts in the corner.
Counts now with a free ball. And now to Pat Urkeley. To Collins under pressure, and the ball headed into the stands by Mark Liverich inadvertently. It'll be a kick in Baltimore. 3:44 to play in the game. 7-5 New York. Collins in the corner, headed away. Berlich won the ball. Berlich, and now a shot just went wide by Fink. And now Urkeley with it. And a shot that goes into the crowd.
A lot of pressure as Baltimore has been able to steal the ball in their attacking zone up to this point. Collins now retreating. It's 7-5 for the Arrows. 3:31 left in the game. There's Bill Maxwell now talking to Jeff Message.
Wednesday, live from the Boston Garden, see a special edition of USA's NBA basketball as the awesome Boston Celtics host the Central Division champion Milwaukee Bucks. That should be something. Both clubs have breezed through their schedule, and they could very well meet in the upcoming NBA playoffs. Be sure to see the Bucks and Celtics live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday on the USA Cable Network. 7-5 New York over Baltimore. 3:31 to play in the ball game here at the Baltimore Civic Center. Jim Carvelis and Kyle Rose Jr. Our own special edition of Friday night.
That's right.
All right, with the ball now. It's Collins. Baltimore gambling now with an outfield player in there. Collins in for the goalkeeper, so they've got an open net on the other end. And Counts heads it back to Collins. Back to Counts with the midfield line. 3:11 to play. Collins, Liverich intercepted. See if he goes. No, he couldn't go for the open net. Mangione comes off of the ball. Here comes Nicky leading it for Danny Counts. Baltimore just inside 3 minutes to play in the game. Down by 2. Off the glass now to Mangione. Trapped it well. Played well by Rajovic and tackled away by Val Tuchka. They double team Nicky Mangione. They clear it to Liverich, but here is Collins to knock it back into the zone again. Baltimore applying pressure. Tuchka took Mangione out. Fans wanted to foul.
A good dump by Collins, but
you know what? Cipolito made the call. Tuchka foul Mangione, and Cipolito, the referee behind the boards, told Maxwell on the field that is a foul. And Mangione over the back of his head.
Knocked his collar up around his neck. And here's John Collins.
Fresh players coming in for New York now. They've got St. Lot coming in the ball game. Jungle is in the game. Clavijo is in the game, and Michia. Shot knocked out of there by Michia and into the Baltimore bench. It'll be a kick in Baltimore. Blast have controlled the ball for a minute and a half since they took the goalkeeper out in effect, Kyle, but they have not scored yet. Callahan, who has their 2 goals in the second half. And now it's Baltimore with it. Second New York with it. Berlich gets it back in the zone, but Michia is there. And Jungle's got an open net. And good play by Collins to knock it away and tip it away from Kitson, who was lurking around the goal as well. Here comes Mangione. Plays it wide for Joey Fink. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to play in the game. Baltimore down by 2. Mangione under pressure from Michia. Good pass to Callahan. Shot! And Messing, I don't think saw that.
Messing
until
can
it hit
score
the
if it
board.
hits in midfield. He tried it, but Callahan there to head it away. Messing went for the goal.
Here comes Barrowich. The pass, not a good one, behind Callahan, and clears it back to Collins. A minute 35. Count. And now it's Fink, and a save by Messing.
Here's Messing again, trying for it. Three-line pass. That's probably the only thing that Jeff Messing has not accomplished in this league.
You can't throw to the goal, okay?
He can throw it in as long as the ball hits in midfield, which is what Van Aaron did.
All right, that's the all-important stat right now. It's the time. 7-5 New York, a minute 17 to play. Collins' shot is blocked down. Jungle with an open net. Forget about it. 4 goals for Jungle. And this baby is over. A minute 10 to play on the clock, and now they start filing out as Steve Jungle has scored his 4th goal of the game.
Hey, don't go anywhere, though, because Jungle, that is now his 99th goal of the year. We still will find out whether or not he can get his 100th tonight. There's a minute and 10 seconds left in the game. That's 4 goals. He's done that 19 other times in his 3-year career. This is 4th year.
And now it's 8-5 New York with a minute 5 to play in the game.
And these two teams have to crack it up again tomorrow afternoon in Nassau Coliseum, Uniondale, New York. If you're on the island, I believe that start is a 3:30 start at Nassau. And you'll see these two teams going in. Both teams employing a different tactic in when they're going into New York. Baltimore is going to bus out right after the game, 5-hour bus trip. New York, on the other hand, is going to get some good rest here tonight, fly in tomorrow. And I'm sure it's just a difference in style.
Well, whatever Popovich has done the last 4 years has been right.
I think I prefer to sleep in.
50 seconds to play in the game, and now it's going to be a New York free kick now. Karachi got it to Jungle and went cross field and knocked it into the seat. It'll be Baltimore's ball, Kyle, with 46 seconds to play in the game.
Well, it's the first time anything with New York has had anything to do with that penalty box of New York. They have avoided a penalty tonight.
Right with the ball now. Baltimore continues to press. 35 seconds. Messing now. Throwing it out to Jungle. Can he go for 100? Sure. He can, but he elects to make a pass that's intercepted by Joey Fink. Unselfish. He could have taken a shot from there with no goalie in there, but he elected to go to Gomez. Now we have 15 seconds. There's a chance. Stankovic in front, and a shot, and the Mangione follow does not go either. 7 seconds. So this big house a bit disappointed tonight.
Here it
Jungle,
goes.
2 seconds. And that is it. The game is over. And the New York Arrows, down twice by 2 goals in this game, at 2-0 and 3-1, have come back to win at 8-5. That's the end of the ball game. Final score, the Arrows 8, the Blast 5. Kyle and I will be back with a final wrap-up in just a moment.